Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bagged and Boarded with Paulie. I'm so glad you guys decided to tune right back in to, I believe, is episode number 21. And I gotta tell you, it is so exciting to finally finish off the Kick-Ass-a-thon Part 3 coming at you right now. Obviously, with Kick-Ass number 3. Like I said before, this is a series, a trilogy of comic books that has greatly affected how I read comics, how I view comics, and just overall, it's one of my favorite trilogies, and I hold it very near and dear to my heart. So, anyway, Kick-Ass 3. What is there to say? It's the grand finale. It has been just it was an amazing run, and it was just it's a very stellar end to this series. Now, just to begin with, I gotta tell you, these are some of my favorite covers of the entire trilogy. I remember walking into a comic book store a long time ago when this first came out, and basically, I saw that Kick-Ass 3 had finally been released. I saw all the variant covers for number one, and what I really like about it is you can see that you can see some little letters at the bottom, but you can't really tell what it's saying. But if you put all of the variant covers from issue number one together, it says, "Evil prevails when good men do nothing. Justice forever." It's very awesome, very cool. If you don't already know, Justice Forever was the superhero squad that was created by Kick-Ass and Colonel Stars and Stripes back in Kick-Ass number 2. And basically, it's just the, real-life version of the Avengers, I guess you could say, consisting of Kick-Ass, the Colonel, um, you know, Hero Man, Insect Man, a lot of other characters that were created through the eyes of many people that have wanted to become superheroes. And Kick-Ass brought them out of hiding, and now they were all real-life superheroes together. So Kick-Ass 3 basically picks literally right up where Kick-Ass 2 ended. And again, going to be some minor spoilers. I'm going to try and keep them to a minimum. But as, basically from where Kick-Ass 2 ended, Mindy, who is Hit Girl, she was imprisoned. She is a vigilante. She has murdered people. She has killed people. And basically, she, belongs in prison according to the law. Even though she has only murdered villains, she has only killed bad guys who honestly deserve it. But according to the law, she belongs in prison. And Mindy is in prison. Now, Justice Forever, they need to break her out of prison. And a lot of this book consists of trying to break Hit Girl out of prison, get her back out, and attempt to completely extinguish the rest of the main drug lord's plans and family off of the grid completely, and end any hope of them continuing their evil deeds and, basically hurting anyone else. It's basically just the unfinished business trying to come to an end. Now, Kick-Ass 3 is very interesting because it introduces what many would call a civil war between the good guys, because the Justice Forever has a few heroes within its midst that don't understand the true message that is trying to be portrayed. Basically, they want to have fun. They don't really want to stand up and be superheroes. They just want to have fun and run around in costumes and just enjoy themselves, enjoy the life. Now, the issue with that is Kick-Ass is on one side, and a couple other heroes are on the other side, and in the end, it becomes very clear that Kick-Ass can no longer rely on Justice Forever for help. And then in the end, you also see Hit Girl finally getting out of prison, and basically Kick-Ass and Hit Girl are now going to try and defeat the Drug Lord family on their own. Now, a lot of people may be asking what happened to Red Mist, or again, such a cringy name, the motherfucker from the last comic. Well, he was hospitalized. Again, some spoilers. He was hospitalized. He basically lost to Kick-Ass in one of the final fights of Kick-Ass 2. And he basically is very confused with his place in the world. Is he a villain? Is he not? And in the end, he meets his fate. And I'm not going to go into detail what that is. But, if you read this, you'll find out what happens to him. And overall, it's not too good for him. But again, I'm not going to spoil what happens. I'm not going to say he died or anything like that, but I will say it's not good. So, moving on a little bit, again, Kick-Ass and Hit-Girl are on their own. They can no longer rely on Justice Forever. They, are basically going through mini crisis. A lot of the police force are now attacking the local heroes. They are being imprisoned. The local police who they're on the payroll of the drug lords. They basically are saying, look, we are going to go out and we are going to murder all of these vigilantes. We are no longer going to try to bring them in. We are going to kill them because we can no longer afford to continue to lose business over them. So they are going to take matters into their own hands. They basically are murdering vigilantes who only mean well, and it's really sad that you see a lot of people go down trying to do what's right. And basically, the story continues on. They're moving through. They're trying to get to the drug lords, and you hit one of the biggest books in the Kick-Ass franchise, and that is the grand finale issue, the $6 issue number 8. I gotta tell you, a tear came to my eye when this one came out because I knew it was the finale, without a doubt. And one of the most interesting parts of Kick-Ass 3 is Dave enters into a relationship with a woman. She is a nurse, and she begins to make him question whether or not he should continue doing this. Is he making the right choice? And how, him doing this may affect their relationship. Because she now knows that he is Kick-Ass. That's how they met. And basically, he needs to figure out, is this really what I should be doing, or should I be focusing on my own life? The story continues on. As you can probably expect, again, major spoiler alert here, but again, it's kind of easy to say that Kick-Ass and Hit-Girl come out on top. They end up winning. Hit-Girl, she goes astray. She ends up, after, they both win and they kill the final drug lord, she goes off to become her own vigilante all across the world, serving justice the way it should be served, quick and swift. And Dave decides, I am done being a vigilante. I am done trying to be a real-life superhero. It is time for me to become a real-life superhero, but in a way that it is legal. And he becomes a certified police officer. And it's the way that it should have been done in the first place. He can now help people, but in a way that is legal and, proper. And it's a really good story. It's a very good end to the series. Dave ends up getting what he really wanted. He becomes someone that can help people, but in a uniform that is not a jumpsuit with batons and doing things very illegally and in a vigilante kind of way. But in the end, it still shows that anybody can be a superhero. You just need to be able to help people. It really doesn't take a mask. It doesn't take batons. It doesn't take the ability to do kung fu or major fighting prowess. It just takes someone who wants to make a difference. And I think that's what really Kick-Ass kind of tries to tell throughout while it's telling its story. Dave ends up with his girlfriend. They end up living happily ever after, and it is a very good end to the story. Like I said, Kick-Ass trilogy is just one of the best ever. And like I said before, I really doubt if we'll see a Kick-Ass number 3 film, just because the film for Kick-Ass number 2 did a fairly good job of capping off the series and putting a lid on things, with regards to the movie universe. But I would totally be okay with a Kick-Ass 3 movie. I've heard talks, in and out, but like I said, I don't really see it happening. And but yeah, overall, just talking about some of my favorite covers. Obviously, the grand finale, issue number 8. It was $6, pretty big for this series, because most of the issues were only $3. But yeah, it was a huge deal when it came out. I was so excited when it came out. Also very saddened. I have a lot of cool variant editions for Kick-Ass number 3. This is when I was really getting into it. But yeah, like I said, it was really cool. This one paying homage to Big Daddy. And I really like this cover for issue number 3, because it kind of just shows Hit-Girl with all the prison inmates, but she fits right in. She fits perfectly. But yeah, overall, I think this pretty much puts the lid on the Kick-Assathon. Part 3 done. Like I said, please go out and read these. All of them are available for trade paperback if you want to get caught up. Like I said, it's very difficult to find the single issues for these, so highly recommend you just go out and buy the trade paperbacks for Kick-Ass 1, 2, and 3, and including Hit-Girl. Hit-Girl is very important to the story as well. to the progression of many of our characters. And, if you just want a story that's gory, it's cruel, gritty, realistic, and just has a really good message at the end and a really good finale, I highly recommend you get into this. It's only, like I said, it's only the trilogy, including Hit Girl, that kind of bridges the gap between Kick-Ass 1 and 2. It's very simple. It's just a quick read if you really just want to read it. And then obviously if, you're interested in the movies, you can also get into that. And it's a very good introduction for people that are trying to get into some comic book stories that aren't Marvel, your basic superhero stuff. So I highly recommend Kick-Ass. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I got a lot of other good videos coming out soon. I got one coming out tomorrow. You can see I have a lot of back issues that I want to talk about. I also have a lot of new Funko Pop figures over there. That's all you're gonna get for now, because I got a lot of good stuff to talk about, and maybe 2 episodes tomorrow. I'm not sure. I don't think I'll be able to fit everything in, but in the end, definitely can expect one tomorrow. But like I said, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to bag and board your comics. Don't forget to go read a comic book today. Go support your local comic book store, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks.